Hi everyone. I'm actually making a video about this other topic. So I wanted to actually just flow it by everyone because I've actually been watching a series of different videos on YouTube, and these different videos actually are about the topic of online scammers, yeah, online scammers and con artists. This con artists, okay, some of them actually use their own pictures, some of them don't really use their own pictures. And the general trend that actually unites or unifies all of them, regardless of where this con is actually conducted. It can be in Australia, it can be in let's say America or Canada. And the strange thing is it can also be conducted even in places like let's say online. Yes, you meet a person who claims to be working overseas in another country, and then they kind of hook you in by getting into this rather friendly relationship with you, which it first starts out like as a kind of like a, yeah, it does start out as a whirlwind romance, or the typical characteristics would be, I mean, of course, the victims tend to be predominantly women, but with the perpetrators being men. But in some cases, I've heard of cases where the perpetrators are actually women, yes, and they prey on men as well. So by fashioning certain false identities. So what is the link of all these online scammers or even physical scammers to the topic that I'm talking about today? So I wanted to talk about the topic of actually the narcissist as a con artist. The word con artist basically is the literal phrase itself. A con meaning a ploy or ruse, something to actually deceive you, a deception ploy. While an artist is obviously someone who's good at what he or she is doing in terms of art. So by bringing together two different nouns, a con artist is someone who's extremely uh, expert. Yeah, he's an expert. He or she is an expert at actually deceiving other people. And it's almost like a skill, a craft in itself. So why do I actually bring in all these examples of a con artist? Okay, in relation to narcissist. Okay, one theory that goes in like forensic psychology as practiced by all these criminal psychologists, yes, is that criminologists and everything. So is that this con artists on the internet and even all these physical ploys, deception, is that they actually are potentially narcissists or psychopaths, and that's the predominant theory of all these criminologists. Okay, but even if we were to just take that aside, like from a criminal context, what's happening in all these criminal cases, the narcissist in real life that we know is pretty much a con artist. So let's just put it this way: a majority of con artists are narcissists and psychopaths, and all psychopaths and narcissists are con artists. Okay, why do I say that? Because if you, I mean, for those who have been through any kind of relationship run-ins with narcissists and psychopaths, you all will know that actually a narcissist doesn't actually approach you in the beginning with I mean, if it's just on the heads, I am a narcissist, I'm a terrible person, no one will actually fall prey to their manipulations, their ploy. So the one thing they have to do is to pretend to be someone whom they are not. Normally, the best way for them to pretend to be someone whom they are not is to actually find out what you like, and then they, after finding out, or like by this via this kind of like bombardment of questions and everything, uh, then they'll just go in for the kill by bombing you with all this faction, all this interest. And I mean, it's easy for people to get swept up in this whirlwind romance, or even if it's a friendship, you tend to think, oh, this person is really so interested in wanting to be my friend, or wanting it to be like, let's say, someone in a business deal or whatever. I mean, it happens in various contexts, but the general trend is that everything's just fake. Yeah, it's all fake. If it's good, too good to be true, it's too good to be true. And we know that narcissists don't really, they aren't really sincere anyway for the most part in terms of wanting to do certain things. For them to do that, they actually, I mean, to be a scam artist or con artist, they have to actually over promise and under deliver. Yeah, that's the problem. You over promise something, we don't know whether they'll actually deliver. We actually assume based on our own trust and faith in other people that they will actually deliver the goods, but they do not. And I think it's actually very, very much like going into a business deal with certain people, like real estate agents and insurance agents. I mean, I'm no offense to anyone, because I was talking to this particular senior citizen who's a filmmaker in the gym. He just told me something that was kind of amusing and funny, but it was also true. He said that, Kevin, do you realize that this stupid thing about all this profile pictures of insurance agents and real estate agents where they're wearing suit and tie. I mean, plus the girls too. They just fold their arms and just like, oh, and there's a very fake plastered smile that is like, oh, the eyes lighting up, and it looks very fake and plastered. And it's, I mean, the truth is, I hate to say it, but the truth is that this insurance agency job, or even all this real estate job, job selling real estate, is all these are scam jobs. Okay, why do I call them scam jobs? Let's look at it in a very, very very pragmatic way. At least in the context of today's society, like buying a piece of real estate is costing, like, goodness, hundreds and thousands of dollars, and almost even millions in some cases. I mean, here in Singapore, it's like it can reach up to a few millions, and in some premier areas. And the thing is that people get into all this debt right at in their late 20s to their early 30s. Normally from the early 30s, yeah. Once they get married, or even if for singles, they use their own savings to get this piece of property, and they go into debt. Yeah, obviously, or they have to pay it off for, goodness, maybe 10 to 20 years, or into their 50s and 60s. So the thing is that by the time that they actually realize they have been able to pay off, given that they do not get fired from their jobs, so they have their incoming source of income. I mean, all this is contingent upon them actually being able to pay for it. And of course, for some of them, they don't really to be to that ripe old age, and that it's like indentured servitude or slavery. And it's the same for insurance. That you pay for insurance policy every few months, or every month, not every few months, every month, and it's like $100 or $200, and on top of that, you can't cash it until you get sick, which is the irony of it all for most insurance policies. And aren't these all scams? They don't pay you back anything. You don't get back your money. You're just investing yourself in a hollow shell. And I mean, the worst ones are the real estate things, where, I mean, you die before you can even fully retire in comfort in that place. So I mean, it's really similar to a deal with a narcissist, or like a relationship. Okay, why do I say that? The narcissist will always overpromise you everything. I'll do this for you. I'll get you. I'll never leave you. You realize that one thing that narcissists always love to do is to say, oh, I'll always be there for you, and blah 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 blah. I hope that our relationship can actually grow. Ha ha ha. My eyes are rolling about, because they simply have no interest in growth. And obviously, at the end of the thing, when you know each other more, they start learning how to, like, they don't start learning, they've been doing it, goodness, for their whole lives. They start devaluing you and telling you that you are no good, and you're blah blah blah. So they don't deliver, they just want to overpromise, but they never deliver. So this makes them real scam artists. Now, I mean, in retrospect, I kind of look back and on some of the the narcissists I've encountered, like my ex-boss, one ex that of mine, and um sometimes even friends, like friends. I mean, I won't call that narcissistic personality disorder, but it does feel a little bit like someone who is suffering from borderline or histrionic personality disorder, which is along the same clusters of cluster B disorders like narcissistic personality disorder. And they all have a similar thing about them. They just don't really sound sincere. They overpromise everything. They overvalue you, and they even make really big promises, but they never ever deliver. I'll meet you this thing. I'll wait till I'm actually better off with when I'm free time so that I can actually meet you. Blah 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 blah. They went off. They are overseas in France, getting abused by their abusive boyfriend. And abusive, yeah. There was something about that one ex who was like saying, "Oh, I hope we can go further." You don't want to go further. You have other ulterior motives. You wanted to use me for something else, and yeah, they're all scams. They're like no different from the online scammers. So really, I mean, I hope that everyone realizes this, and like Valentine is coming pretty soon. So if you are single, don't don't fall for the tricks and everything, because like Valentine is one of the worst days to actually fall for a trick of a narcissist. I mean, especially for those who are actually either single or and lonely, or if not, who are just attached to a narcissist and hoping to leave. This is like the point in time when that you can expect the narcissist, whoever he or she is, will turn up like their hoovering tactics or their manipulation a notch up. I remember that one particular narcissist was like boasting about, oh, like let's everyone have a nice Valentine's Day. That was in 2016, and we were not even like really in communication. But why do they do that? Even if you're not romantically attached to them, you're just like an acquaintance or a friend or whatever. They do things like that. Okay, on social media, they'll post about how their Valentine's is nice, blah blah blah. But actually, the truth is, even if they are attached, then it's on the rocks. Okay, the likelihood of their so-called relationship or relationship being on the rocks is really really high, and they're posting all this on social media not to actually boast about how good it is, but to actually use that boasting, okay, to make you feel bad about yourself. Okay, especially if you are either in a relationship with them, I mean, where they're cheating on you, or if you are dumped by them, and yeah, it's to make you feel bad about yourself. And then the other case of you being lonely is that, I mean, of course, when you see that, once you feel bad, especially you feel that you need to be with someone else. Okay, yeah, you probably feel that as like, damn, I'm alone, but while they're happy. And it doesn't just apply to people you have dated, as I mean narcissistic people, but it applies to narcissistic friends as well. Okay, and okay, so I'm just going to say, keep it very short and sweet at this point. So with this kind of people, just remember, nothing is real. Okay, a narcissist is always essentially a scam artist. A con artist. They are scammers. Nothing is real. It's all big bullshit. Okay, so yeah, have a good one anyway. So I'll just make another video later on when I kind of like just organize my thoughts. And I'm just actually coming back, as you know, from Korea after a few weeks ago, and I really find that actually I'm not really functioning as properly in terms of like my thoughts. Things are coming back in random style and everything. I'm just getting back to things like working out, working, and I mean routine, everything. But I'm fine. Okay, and then of course I'm getting back into therapy again, just to continue from the last bits of what the psychologist had actually done, and I changed the psychologist. I mean, at least not that I changed it, but the agency changed it, because the prior psychologist was actually she was leaving, so a new one came in, but a new one who's actually trained in EMDR as well. Okay, anyway, I'll get back later and I'll talk about some other things, and I hope everyone has a good rest of the week. Okay, bye bye.